and loved ones. May God give them comfort during this difficult time. And I yield back, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentlelady from California, Ms. Woolsey, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, later today I'll join a bipartisan group of members at a panel discussion about the ongoing war in Afghanistan. Joining us as a special guest will be Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, one Afghanistan veteran who has spoken the devastating truth about conditions on the ground. During his second tour of duty in 2010 and 2011, he interviewed or interacted with 250 soldiers at all levels in several Afghan provinces. He also spoke with Afghan security officials and with civilians. He prepared both a classified and an unclassified report about what he saw and what he heard. Here is some of what he concluded in his own words, Mr. Speaker. He said, "What I saw bore no resemblance to rosy official statements by U.S. military leaders." He said, "I witnessed the absence of success on virtually every level. I heard many stories of how insurgents controlled virtually every piece of land beyond eyeshot of a U.S. or international security assistance force base." And he said, "From time to time, I observed Afghan security forces collude with the insurgency." Davis tells us that one Afghan police captain actually laughed at him when Davis asked about how they responded to a Taliban attack. "No, we don't go after them," said the captain. "That would be dangerous." One senior officer told Lieutenant Colonel Davis, "How do I look a soldier's wife in the eye and tell her that her husband died for something meaningful?" Mr. Speaker, is that what we have to show for nearly 11 years of war and hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayers' money? As we recognize Memorial Day on Monday and over the past weekend, don't we at least owe it to the war dead and their families to ensure that their sacrifice is for a worthy cause? Lieutenant Colonel Davis did not have to come forward. Without a doubt, it would have been better for his military career to keep his head down and his mouth shut. But with the stakes so great and the costs so high, he felt that he had a greater obligation to the truth. Lieutenant Colonel Davis's story must be heard. It needs to be heard because it balances the last 10 years at the Armed Services Committee and in various other briefings and forums where we've been exposed to nothing more than the official line on how this war is going. It's time we got firsthand experience and a firsthand version from someone who has seen the dysfunction of our Afghan policy at the ground level. In February, a group of members sent a letter to House leadership asking that Lieutenant Colonel Davis have the opportunity to testify at a formal hearing of a relevant committee of the House. But this invitation has not been extended to him, so thanks to the leadership of my friends, Congresswoman Barbara Lee and Congressman Walter Jones, we will convene a panel later today to give Lieutenant Colonel Davis a chance to tell what he saw in Afghanistan. I invite all members of Congress to attend. It's at 2 p.m. at B318 Rayburn. If you do, you'll hear convincing and overwhelming evidence that this war is a colossal failure, and it's time, finally, after more than a decade, to bring our troops home. I yield back.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Dole, for 5 minutes. Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day. To my left here is a poster for Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day, which appears right now in hundreds of businesses all across our nation and will be read by over 1 million survivors. This important day is observed on the first Tuesday in June, which falls this year on June 5th. I'm very pleased to help draw attention and raise awareness for this important day. Mr. Speaker, there are nearly 12 million cancer survivors living in the United States, and each year that number continues to grow. In 2012, about 1.6 million new cases are expected to be diagnosed, and each individual will face challenges both during and after treatment. Each individual will need a tremendous amount of care and support. Since its inception in 2003, Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day has helped bring warm support, comfort, and pride to survivors. This day is one of a kind, bringing together all cancer survivors in this country, men, women, and children, regardless of their type of cancer or when they were diagnosed. With thousands of volunteer stylists, beauticians, barbers, and industry professionals who are looking to offer a little personal kindness to our nation's cherished cancer survivors. These individuals have overcome so much and have shown us all the courage to fight on in the face of so many uncertain challenges. This day simply is an opportunity to provide relaxation and to connect survivors with one another and with caring volunteers. Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day is the only event of its kind in our nation, with complimentary services being offered to all survivors by salons, barbershops, day spas, and other beauty and massage therapy facilities. The event is nationwide, with support in literally all 50 states. It is also important to note that participation in this day is purely voluntary by these businesses, with no monetary solicitation or donations before, during, or after the event. Support for this important day continues to grow, thanks to the hard work of so many good people and dedicated supporters. And I'd like to especially recognize Barbara Paget, a founder and dynamic leader of this cause, for her hard work. Certainly would not be the event that it is today without her leadership. In addition to the signs and flyers like this one we have right here, Mr. Speaker, all around the country, Stand Up to Cancer will reach over 1 million survivors on their Facebook page on June 5th, 2012. This day is very established and deserves recognition by this body. To this end, I have introduced House Resolution 494, a bipartisan resolution which expresses the support for designating the first Tuesday in each June as National Cancer Survivor and Beauty Support Day. I certainly urge all of my colleagues to recognize and jump on board this important resolution, but more importantly, I ask everyone to take a moment to recognize this day. Put something on your website. Urge survivors and volunteers in your districts to participate on this day, June 5th, and honor the cancer survivors all across our nation. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Mrs. Adams, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to bring attention to the ongoing troubles at the VA and its apparent inability to effectively manage major construction projects, specifically the new Veterans Hospital at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Orlando, Florida, in my congressional district. Our nation's veterans have served our country honorably, putting everything on the line to protect our freedoms. After all they have done for us, it is Congress's duty to ensure that our veteran service-connected medical needs are taken care of. The American people were told that for $665 million, they would receive a state-of-the-art medical facility to care for the hundreds of thousands of veterans in Central Florida, which is one of the most underserved veteran populations in this country. This project is desperately needed in our community. Our veterans cannot wait any longer, nor can hard-working taxpayers afford more expensive delays. Recently, Chairman Miller held a hearing with the Veterans Affairs Committee to examine these delays. During the hearing, it became clear that incompetence and a lack of leadership from the VA is to blame for the egregious amount of errors with this project. Those errors include forgetting to order medical equipment, designing incompatible power sources in patient rooms, and designing doorways too small for the equipment that needs to get through them, These basic design errors are absolutely unacceptable, and we must hold the VA accountable for them. While I am not a member of the committee, I felt it as my duty as a representative for Central Florida veterans to participate with the hearings and conduct the oversight necessary to get answers and move the project forward. Having toured the hospital construction site recently, I knew that the project was behind schedule and over budget. Listening to the hearing testimony coupled with seeing the site firsthand reinforced the fact that the VA has fallen down on the job and is failing our veterans. Veterans in my district have to drive hundreds of miles in some cases to get the cure and the care they need and have been promised, they've been promised in return for their service to our nation. These are often elderly men and women who cannot afford the trips. And we have young veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan who have sustained injuries that make those long trips incredibly painful. This is not the best we can offer, and we should be ashamed of those in the VA that those brave warriors have to travel long distances with the vague hope of getting the care they need. The VA can do better, we can do better. Today's consideration of the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriation Bill helps put the VA's feet to the fire and will spur them to return the focus to our veteran population and not on bureaucratic mismanagement and political infighting. This language of the bill makes it clear that while the hospital construction remains fully funded, it is no longer an open-ended construction project with bills to be paid years in the future. The legislation states quite clearly that funds obligated to complete construction have to be spent within 5 years. The message should be heard loud and clear by the VA. Get your management in gear and finish this hospital. Mr. Speaker, the delay at this hospital are despicable, and the inability of the VA to provide what our veterans have been promised is unacceptable. Our veterans and their families have put everything on the line to defend our country. Making sure their service-connected needs are taken care of is the very least we can do to repay our nation's heroes. And I yield back the remainder of my time.
Pursuant to Clause 12, Paren A of Rule 1, the Chair declares the House in recess to hour 12 noon today.